Howdy, folks. Welcome to the Daily Coin. My name is Rory, and today is Tuesday, March the 29th, 2016. And I have the great honor and distinct pleasure of welcoming back to the show the Doc from Silver Doctors. How you doing, Doc?
I'm doing great, Rory. Thanks for having me back.
Well, I'm certainly glad that you're here. We have, last time I checked, we were having a green day, and it still looks kind of green. It's green for gold, red for silver. And I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I was just listening to last week's market update that you and Eric Dubin put out. Last week you were speaking with Harvey Organ, and you had said that as of last week there was about 14 million Silver Eagles that had been sold. That equates to about 200,000 a day? Is that what they're allocating at this point?
Yeah, that's right. About 200,000 coins a day. So here we are, Tuesday morning, the 29th, and that's past 14.5 million now, 2 days later.
Wow. And last time that you and I spoke, the authorized purchasers of Silver Eagles you had alluded to that they were trying to get their backstock rebuilt. And how is that working out? How are they able to do that if there's only 200,000 coins available a day? I mean, that sounds like that's going to be a slow, arduous process.
It certainly is. And I mean, that seems to be the strategy for some of the APs, not all of them. I mean, obviously it's their own business decision, and do they want to move as much volume as they can right now, or do they want to store up coins so the next time a tight spot in the market or real shortage hits, they've got a little bit of a cushion and some coins built up. So, I mean, it varies a little bit depending on the different strategies from the different businesses. I mean, really, when the U.S. Mint's still allocating the coins, the only thing you can do is raise your prices so you don't sell as many.
That's about it. So, I mean, and are you starting to? How are the premiums doing? Are they stabilizing? Are they going up? Are they going down? What's happening there?
Premiums have been pretty stable the last month or so. Specifically, Silver Eagles and Maples, maybe creeping down very, very slightly, but not substantially.
So nothing really to get excited about. Either way.
Probably the biggest change we've seen in premiums is 90% silver over the last week. Prices have dropped probably about 50 cents retail level. I think we're now selling, $2.99 over spot any quantity. Some of the other dealers have dropped from about $3.80 to $3.30. So retail levels, 90% silver has dropped about 50 cents, and same thing in the wholesale market, it's dropped about 50 cents.
So that means that there's more coming back into the market.
Correct. There's been, and really over the past month or so, we've seen an unusually large uptick in sellers for what we've seen over the past 3 or 4 years. It's been interesting.
And that's with SD Bullion?
Right. And I mean, we're still seeing sustained high levels of purchasing, but we're seeing a few more sellers come out into the market, probably with the bump up we've seen in gold and silver prices this year. Whether it's people who just need cash and they've been waiting for a little bit of better prices to sell their metal or what, but it's nothing substantial, but we've definitely seen an uptick in sellers.
The gold silver ratio, I mean, last I heard it was right around 80 to 1. The 80 to 1 ratio. I know Eric Sprott pays attention to it, and he has said for a long time, for a couple of years, that silver outsells gold by about 50 to 1. Do you see that same type of ratio with SD Bullion?
Yeah, certainly. Ounce per ounce, silver vastly outsells gold. We're a little bit skewed from the industry as a whole. The gold and silver investment industry in the United States as a whole is about 60 to 70%, I'm talking dollar figures, 60 to 70% gold over versus 30 to 40% silver. And we're about the opposite of that at SD Bullion, obviously, with starting Silver Doctors, and we believe in silver's fundamentals. And we're all about silver just personally. I believe, I believe silver's an excellent investment relative to gold right now, and exactly due to that, right now it's trading at 81-to-1 ratio. And I mean, if you look at the historical numbers, I personally think silver's a better investment. So I think, due to our company and the fact that SD Bullion was founded off of silver doctors, we have a lot higher percentage of silver investors than the average bullion dealer does. So our numbers, you really can't take our numbers as across the whole industry, because everybody we talk to are shocked at the amount of silver we sell versus gold.
And speaking of which, are you still seeing an influx of new customers? And your current customers, are they still stacking, or what's driving your business at this point?
Yeah, it's still been a steady influx of new customers. I mean, interestingly, over the last probably 2 to 3 weeks, there's been a lot of new customers who have fairly substantially large purchases, and we're talking mid 5-figure purchases, which is a pretty substantial purchase versus it's not just somebody who has a day job and they're investing their extra money they have every week like I did for years, and a lot of our customers do for years. They might invest $500 a week, or a couple tubes of Silver Eagles a week, or once a month, or what have you. So that's certainly interesting. That there's definitely been an uptick in the proportion of large to medium sized buyers versus just the normal average Americans, and who have been buying gold and silver, and what they can afford with their weekly paycheck or monthly paycheck.
Yeah, that is an interesting bit of information, because that means that some high wealth people are looking around and don't really like what they're seeing.
Right, exactly.
I mean, I know I don't like what I'm seeing. I mean, I'm really sick of the lies and the deceit and the propaganda, the wars. I mean, just the endless parade of nonsense that we have to deal with on a daily basis. It's just like, my goodness. Can we just have one day where it's, just like regular, normal kind of day? Is that possible? Nice. That'd be different. Oh my goodness! And what do you see, or is there any really cool, unusual coins, either numismatic or private mint rounds that you're seeing that maybe people need to pay attention to?
Sure. The U.S. Mint has just released. I guess they technically haven't released. They've released their orders to the authorized purchasers for the Cumberland Gap ATB. So we're now taking orders on the Cumberland Gap. I think they're still about 3 to 4 weeks out on shipping from when they'll be in from the mint. Those are coins that I've really liked, and personally, I've bought a lot of ATBs in the past, as they're not too far premium wise from a Silver Eagle when the mint releases them. They only produce them for a month or two, and previous releases, the premiums have gone up quite a bit once they're out of production. So that's a coin I personally have bought in the past, and collectors really like those because each design's different, and they're the same design as the 50 state quarter set. They're really beautiful pieces.
Okay. Yeah, and that's a 5-ounce coin, right?
Yep, those are 5-ounce coins. Official legal tender of 25 cents.
Worth a whole quarter.
Worth a whole quarter, exactly.
So
I really like those. Yeah.
So if I get a silver Eagle, which has a face value of $1, and it's 1 ounce of silver, but I get an America the Beautiful 5-ounce coin, and it has a face value of 25 cents.
Exactly. So if you want to use that at Wendy's or Kroger, that'll you need a couple to buy a pack of gum.
That doesn't even make sense. Oh my goodness! And yeah. I was listening to when I was listening to last week's market update. Harvey Organ was talking about the volume of silver, and as far as what the United States digs out of the ground and what we're supposed to be using specifically for the American Silver Eagle program. They're not supposed to be, by law, using any imported silver, but apparently that's not the case anymore.
Yeah, they had to change that law because just Silver Eagles alone, the U.S. Mint was selling more Silver Eagles than the entire domestic U.S. silver production. So they had to adjust that a little bit.
And how much are we importing for that at this point? Do you know?
I mean, they don't release their statistics, but it's got to be just rough back of the napkin calculations. I'd guess somewhere between 60 and 100 million ounces when you talk all investment silver. Because I mean, Silver Eagles are only a portion. You have private rounds, private 10-ounce bars, 100-ounce bars, unique numismatic things like the 2-ounce privateer coins, like the Kraken, and I mean, it's an endless list of private offerings. I mean, you have the Royal Canadian Mint, their maples, their 10-ounce bars, 100-ounce bars. So just the bullion Silver Eagles are a small. I shouldn't say small because they're a decent size of the market. They're the number one seller in the U.S. as far as bullion items. So they're a significant chunk. But from what we see at SD Bullion, they're probably a third or less of total overall bullion volume.
Really?
Right.
Wow. Well, that's very interesting because just until recently, the Silver Institute wasn't even accounting for the private rounds and bars as far as their calculations. I mean, I think that's only been in the last year or two that they started looking at that and including that in their annual report.
Yeah, those are vastly under-reported.
So that's more garbage information.
Exactly.
I mean,
it's just hard to collect that because they're all private mints. They don't all need to publicly report, so it's tough to put a number on that outside of talking to a wholesaler or a bullion dealer who can kind of do a comparison of how much volume they're doing compared to something like the Silver Eagle, which the U.S. Mint puts out supposedly anyways a hard number that they've sold.
Now, as far as the Silver Eagles, we are on pace to actually blow out last year. I mean, I believe you said that we were 15% ahead of 2015. Do you think that that's going to continue, or is that going to increase, or are they going to have to shut down again?
Well, I don't think it's going to increase because the U.S. Mint's allocating production, and they don't seem to have any intent to increase their allocations. If they wanted to increase their allocations to meet the demand, if nothing else, they'd start up the San Francisco Mint again. They were running it for 4 years from 2011 through 2014, and then they just shut her down again. So I really don't see production increasing from what it's been at because I don't see the U.S. Mint government officials doing anything to respond to the demand. They'll just keep cranking out 200,000 coins a day and patting themselves on the back. But yeah, I do certainly think that from all indications, if the demand continues, there's no reason to think that the allocation is going to end anytime soon.
That is amazing.
And we're coming up on a year now. We're a day or two away from April, and it's been really since last June that everything's been on allocation.
Was it June? I was thinking it was July.
Well, officially it was July. They sold. Technically, it's been June because the whole Greece crisis, the U.S. Mint sold out of all their coins in a day, and they shut down for a month. And then when they just so they could build up inventories, and then when they resumed sales in July, they were on allocation. So
Okay.
however you want to look at it, June when they shut down sales for a month, or July when they started taking them back up, they haven't. It's been since early last June that an AP's been able to call up the mint and order as many as they want.
That is mind-boggling. I mean, if you think about it, because this is the number one selling coin in the world, right?
Exactly.
So, and it's been on allocation for 10 months. Because I think it was like June 8th when they sold out. It was somewhere. It was in that first
Right.
10 days of June that they sold out. So, and like you said, a couple of days away from April. So, I mean, my goodness. And do you think, Doc, are we seeing signs that we are actually entering the third phase of the bull market? Is that kicking in right now? Is that what's going on?
I mean, there's lots of signs that I think lead to that. I personally think we most likely are. I mean, give it another 2 or 3 months, and we'll know for sure. After if gold goes down and tests, say 1140, and bounces back, and it'll be interesting to see how the Hui does and the gold stocks. Silver has a lot of support, really about 30 cents lower, 1490. So it's really not unusual at all to see a bit of a correction here, whether it's manipulation, induced by manipulation, or which is certainly seemed like it was to get the ball rolling right ahead of the last FOMC statement. But technically, things were a little bit overbought in the short term. Now, long term, not at all. But in the short term, especially gold was getting overbought, and its COMEX trading was, the commercials were getting pretty heavily short. So, I mean, everything's a cycle, and we really don't want gold and silver to go straight up because that's not sustainable. So,
right.
So I certainly think things look promising for the rest of 2016 and beyond for gold and silver.
Do you think that we are going to see a significant correction within the next few weeks or so?
Well, I think the correction's in process right now.
Okay.
So it really hasn't been as sharp as previous ones. Now, could that come? Yeah, especially with this week, options expiration and jobs report on Friday. So it'll be interesting to see if we can get through this week. But certainly, it's already been a couple 3 weeks that gold and silver have been correcting, and with part of that being just sideways correction to work off a little bit of the overbought short-term levels, just with a sideways correction.
Well, hopefully we'll start moving to the positive, and I'm very optimistic about 2016. I mean, especially if the U.S. Mint continues allocating product for the remainder of this year, won't that send a very strong signal to the precious metals market as a whole? I mean,
Yeah,
would that
certainly will.
Would that not be, something's going on here with the actual physical product that the U.S. Mint has to remain on ration sales for, so we'll just project out to December. I mean, that would be 18 months. I mean, I would think that people would go, something don't seem right here.
Yeah, certainly, and that's definitely not going to end anytime soon. If we do get further correction in gold and silver, I mean, if we get a 14 handle on silver again, demand's going to spike again. So, yeah, it's really hard to see a picture that any time in the near future, the U.S. Mint's going to be just readily producing coins come buy as many as you want. I think they're going to continue allocating at least through the second quarters, from what it looks like to me.
Well, get them while you can. That's all I can say. Well, Doc, I certainly appreciate all your time and all your wisdom this morning, and I'll let you get back to your business. I know you got a lot going on with SD Bullion, which is a premier sponsor of the Daily Coin, and I greatly appreciate the support and all the news that you put together over at Silver Doctors, and Eric Dubin running the news doctors for you over there. You got your hands full.
Yeah, we keep busy. We certainly do, Roy, as you do as well.
Well, I try. I don't have near what you guys have going on over there, but I'm doing what I can. But
Well, I forgot to tell you. You'll appreciate this one. Your question of any other cool numismatic things in the works. We got something special planned for tax day coming up here, the 15th. We're going to release the final coin in the Heroes SD War collection. It's going to be a Tea Party coin for tax day.
very cool. See, I thought you was sitting on something. I don't know why, but I had a feeling.
Along with that, we're going to do a kind of a special release. Along with it, we're going to do a double reverse of an antiqued version of the double reverse of the heroes on both sides, and it's going to be numbered to on the actual coin itself. It'll be numbered to 250. So
That's
we're going to
very cool.
wrap up the Heroes series with a pretty limited mintage on that double reverse. So we're excited about that, and sticking it to the IRS on tax day.
Which we all need to. So, well, that's very exciting. Well, we'll have to get you back in here somewhere around the release of that, and remind folks that they're out there. I will let you get back to your morning, and I look forward to speaking with you soon.
All right, appreciate it, Roy. Always good to talk to you.
Same here. Thank you so much.
All right, take care.